Hello and welcome to our new initiative, the In-Depth series. I am Pooja. Today we are going to bring you from the depths the United Development Index, United Nations Development Program Human Development Index. So as we see, United Nations Human Development Index is actually a part of the United Nations Human Development Report. So from here to what is UNDP, what is the Human Development Approach, the theme of 2022, the Human Development Index, indicators used and why is it important that we have these kind of reports and index? Are there any shortcomings? The highlights of the current report, where does India stand, and India's specific points will also be discussed along with a prelims question. So what does the report actually says? What is the Human Development Report is actually, it introduced a new approach for advancing human well-being. Now, more or less, the standard of a human development tend to be gauged on the economic development. But what about social development? What about political development? And what about the health development? That is undertaken by this particular report. The human development approach is employed here. It is focused on people and their opportunities, what opportunities they are getting and what choices they are making. It was first published in 1990, the Human Development Report, and it is published by Human Development Report Office for the United Nations Development Program. Now let us talk about United Nations Development Program. It is headquartered in the New York City and it is the UN's Global Development Network. Some 170 countries and territories has its presence. Apart from that, it works on three focus areas. Development which is sustainable in nature, democratic governance should be there, and peace building measures, climate and disaster resilience. This could form a trio for your prelims, remember this. It also promotes gender equality and the protection of human rights. So all in all, it takes development on an overall basis. This is the concept it has. Now, human development approach was developed by the economist Mehboob ul Haq. Mehboob ul Haq's work, he belongs to Pakistan, and his work is basically anchored on the Amartya Sen's work on human capabilities, who is a Nobel laureate. So India and Pakistan actually have come together to build this particular, you can say this index. And it is approach. It is framed in terms of whether people are able to be and do desirable things in life or not. The beings include, are they well fed? Do they have shelter? And are they healthy? Doings like what is their work, opportunities, education, voting participation in community life, and freedom of choice is central to the approach. When you are fully developed, then only you will be able to make certain sort of choices. So this is the approach they have developed. The theme for 2022 is uncertain times, unsettled lives, shaping our future in a world in transformation. No need to, you can say the mugging up part is not over here. Because why? I will tell you why this uncertain times, unsettled lives. Uncertain times because of the uncertainty of the COVID-19 pandemic. It is throwing variants every now and then. So first that. War in Ukraine has unsettled the people. Record-breaking temperatures are being recorded, fires, storms and floods. Apart from that, a new uncertainty complex is emerging. Now, uncertainty is not something that does not happen, and the world is full of uncertainties, but a new complex has evolved. Climate, from the climate premises to the health challenges, and now the volatility in the world. Now we have China and Taiwan also. So, Human Development Index is basically a summary measure of average achievements. Remember certain keywords. Average achievements. Key dimension of human development include a long and healthy life, indicators. Second part is being knowledgeable, and third is have a decent standard of living. Okay, so a long and healthy life is basically the life expectancy index and life expectancy at birth. These two form the part of long and healthy life, in which the dimension index is life expectancy index and the indicator is life expectancy at birth. So long and healthy life. Then education index is the dimension index and it indicates expected years of schooling and mean years of schooling. Then we have the gross national income index, which gives us GNI per capita, which means a decent standard of living. So these are the indicators and various index dimension. So it is the geometric mean. Your prelims could ask you arithmetic mean. No, it is a geometric mean of normalized indices for each of the three dimensions. Moving ahead, why is it important? First of all, if we have to make policies, we have to know where and why the person stands there. For a person, if we have to make. So for that, for policy choices, it is important that we have the knowledge of it. Debate policy making. Now, if a country is not performing well and it is a parliamentary democracy such as India, then opposition can question the government on such instances. Because first of all, it is a third party survey. And secondly, the broad policies of the government do work in the similar direction on which the Human Development Index is measuring them. Sustainable development goals, if India or any other country is able to achieve it or not, can be gauged from these indicators. Shortcomings of this particular indicator is that it does not reflect on inequalities, poverty, human security and empowerment. So that is why we cannot call it as comprehensive as it is. Being seen. Highlights of the current report, let us see that. For the first time on record, the Global Human Development Index has dropped for 2 years in a row. So remember this, for 2 years in a row, the Human Development Index has dropped, and this is for the first time in record. This can be a prelim statement. Over 90% of the countries saw their HDI values drop in either 2020 or 2021 report. Now, here currently, as we see, India was 131 in 2020. But currently, actually, India is 130 on the 132nd rank. First is Switzerland is first, then Norway, then Iceland, then Hong Kong and China, then Australia, Denmark, Sweden, United Kingdom is 80, Japan is 19, United States is 21. So remember this. First is Switzerland, Norway, then Iceland. Fourth is Hong Kong and fifth is Australia. India is 132nd position. Furthermore, while only a third of very high HDI countries saw a decline in 2020, about 60% of the low and medium HDI and high HDI countries did. So you see that lower and middle income countries are much more vulnerable. While perceived insecurity is higher in low and medium HDI countries, that means minorities and ethnic people do not feel safe there, or genders as well. Some of the largest increase in feelings of insecurity are in very high HDI countries like UK, because ethnic minorities of both sexes were severely affected in the United Kingdom. Specifically, the largest increase in mental distress comes among men who belong to India, Pakistan and Bangladesh background. So you can cite this example in your mains examination as well. For India specific highlights, India ranked 132nd among 191 countries and territories this year. The HDI value is 0.633. In 2020 report, India was 131st among 189 countries and territories. Then the HDI value was 0.645. Very important preliminary facts. The drop is actually on account of a fall in life expectancy. Life expectancy at birth has fallen down, because if we talk about last year, that means last report, it was 69.7 years. But in this year, this report has said that it is 67.2. For 2020, it was 69.7. For 2021, it is 67.2. And India's latest HDI value, as I am repeating, is 0.633. Moving ahead. Now, the expected years of schooling, let us compare them. For 2020, it was 12.2 years. For 2021, it is 11.9 years. Again, it has fallen down. This could be because of the pandemic as well. The mean years of schooling is up at 6.7 years from 6.5 years in 20 years. So this is the mean years of schooling. Okay. So mean years of schooling, and this is expected year of schooling. Do not get confused. Okay. What is expected and what is the average, that is different. Okay. The mean year of schooling for females has declined. It has come down. So gender inequality has commenced to show its face from 12.6 to 11.9. Earlier it was 12.6. Now it is 11.9. Now gender development index, let us see. At gender development index, it is just at 132nd. It has retained its rank, which was last year as well. Female-like life expectancy has dropped. In 2021, it is 68.8, but in 2020, it was 71. So because of that only, we can see we have declined. Now, multidimensional poverty index, which gauges poverty in different sections, not only in one section, it is 0.123. The headcount ratio is at 27.9%. These many headcount ratio people are poor in the multidimensional poverty index. 8.8% population is reeling under severe multidimensional poverty. Over the last decade, India has lifted a staggering 271 million out of the multidimensional poverty. This is one of the good points. But if we do not, undo the things that are occurring because of the pandemic, we can slide back. Countries which have done better than India, let us see them. Sri Lanka is at 73rd position. China is 79th. Bangladesh 129th position and Bhutan 127th. Countries which have done worse than India, Pakistan at 161, Nepal at 143 and Myanmar at 149, which is one of the worst. Now there are certain green pointers that we can take, the positive ones. What are the positive ones? The report has said that compared to 2019, the impact of inequality on human development is lower. India is bridging the human development gap between men and women faster than any other country in the world. This development has come at a smaller cost. The environmental has been having a cost, but actually it has come at a smaller cost of the environment. Environment has not been harmed that much. India's growth story actually reflects the country's investment in which areas? Inclusive growth, growth which is including all the sections of the society. Social protection is growing. Gender responsive policies are there. It is not like only men specific or female specific policies are being developed. Push towards renewables are also occurring so that no one is left behind. This is what the report is saying. You can cite these examples, these statements in your positivities of the next mains examination, this mains examination if you're watching for this mains. Question: which of the following countries scored higher than India in Human Development Index of 2021? Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan. Okay, so you have to choose the correct answer. So for the last question that I asked, the answer was actually 56. So thank you so much for watching. That's it. We shall meet again with another segment.